Councils across the West Midlands are consulting with residents on their budgets for next year at a time of increasing financial pressure on local authorities. Coventry City Council is hiring 2 new directors focused on reducing spending on public services and communicating with residents. The 6-figure salary roles come at a time when the council is facing a budget gap of £10 million this year. Joshua Nevitt reports.
Council bosses are trying to get their message out about the financial challenges of delivering public services in Coventry. Young people were invited to this Q&A session about the future of the cash-strapped council.
Budgeting is a lot more difficult than it can seem. I think it's probably quite easy to nitpick.
I know a bit about the lack of budgeting and then the funding, but not to the degree that it's currently at.
The council is considering making further cuts to public services to plug a budget gap of £10 million this year. And events like these are part of a new strategy to communicate better with residents at a time when the council is making unpopular decisions. The council is willing to pay £260,000 a year to hire 2 new directors focused on communications and cutting spending. The new roles are being funded by the departure of previous members of the leadership team who were also on 6-figure salaries.
Well, I think new roles won't necessarily solve old problems. People in the city who are being asked to bear more taxes and to put up with service cuts might reasonably ask if this is executive extravagance.
Coventry Independent Advice Service is one casualty of a council cut. The charity supports thousands of residents and gives free advice on benefits and debt problems.
For the last 4 years we've received £325,000 a year, but that grant was completely withdrawn on the 1st of October this year. We've immediately had to cease our operations out in the community. Unfortunately, unless additional funding can be found very quickly, we're going to face closure really next year.
The council says it wants to be more efficient in its funding of advice services and has awarded grants to 2 other charities. Like many other councils, the rising costs of social care and homelessness are absorbing much of its funding.
At the moment, we still have a budget gap, but I think hopefully with what's come from Rachel Reeves will help close some of that. It may still leave us with another gap, and we'll have to look at what we can do to close that.
At the council house, the budget pressures on the table have provided some food for thought. Joshua Nevitt, BBC Midlands Today, Coventry.